fell out of devil's house and now I'm in his son's house. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Vicky and today's video is gonna be very different from usually you see on my channel. So today is story time. I'm gonna tell you how I moved to London. Grab yourself a big cup of tea, just like I did, maybe a snack or something, and let's go. Let me tell you how I came to London. It's not like I came here and I got my dream job straight away. I got a super duper fancy place where to live. I haven't thought like I would get to experience something like this in my whole life. It was an absolute roller coaster of events and places, and it's just insane. Like, all this started in the summer of 2016 when I graduated. I felt I really needed a change. I needed something more exciting in my life, but I never thought that I would get the excitement of my life coming to London. So I thought, how can I go to a foreign country very simply, very quick? Maybe you heard of this program called au pair, where basically you go to another country to experience the culture, the language, while you live with the host family who takes care of your accommodation and gives you some pocket money because you take care of their house, their kids, stuff like that, like house chores. So I thought, this is actually a very good opportunity and a very good thing that fits into my plan, because obviously if you come to a foreign country without family, friends or stuff like that, then you need lots of money, my darlings, because London is ridiculously expensive. Like, it's so freaking expensive. You need to come with at least 2k for the beginning if you don't have a job or stuff like that, because yeah, the accommodation is super expensive, the transport is super expensive. I mean, I registered to a website called, I think, aupair.com or aupair.co.uk, I don't remember exactly, because I didn't want to get involved with third-party companies. Like, I had to pay them this amount of money so they would find me like a host family with the contract, with everything like that. And I thought, like, I can do this by myself, like, for real. I registered to this website and I was looking for a family that doesn't have like 3 or 4 kids, because usually it's a huge pain to take care of so many kids. So I was thinking, going into a family with just 1 kid would be very nice, very less stressful. So I got into contact with this lady who is a British English lady, like typical. And everything seemed okay. We started to talk on Skype like every day. She seemed very nice. Her child was very sweet. Like, I think she was like 7 or 8. Because this was like almost 5 years ago, which is really wow, like when I remember everything. So I think I talked with her for like 2 or 3 weeks or so. I got to know who is she, what she does for a living and stuff like that. So everything seems like fine. So I think after 1 month I graduated, my dad bought me the ticket and I made 2 big luggages and that's it. I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to move to London. And yeah, I'm ready to have the time of my life. So on 22nd of July 2016, I arrived in London for the first time ever. It seemed very overwhelming because I hadn't had any experience of living abroad, any experience dealing with foreign people, and I thought I know English, but trust me, at that time I was like, their accent is so not understandable. Like, I was like, God, how many years I will need to actually understand the British accent. But yeah, the lady met me at the airport. She took me to her home. I got to meet her daughter. She lived in East Barnet, which is like one of the poshest areas of London. And she had like a huge house, like a 2-bedroom house with a huge garden and an attic as well. And for the first couple of days, everything seemed okay. I got to know the house, the daughter, all the details, what I had to do. Everything seemed okay. I just had to do for the girl the breakfast, do a little bit of laundry, a little bit of cooking. Not so much of cultural exchange thing, because I just went with her once to the Alexandra Palace, and yeah, like, basically the whole thing of this au pair thing is to get familiar with the culture of another country. But to me, this is more like using people for doing stuff for like 0 money. After a couple of like 5 days or 6 days or so, she started to add to my household chores much more duties, like beside cleaning, washing, cooking. She gave me like almost every single day like a huge basket to iron, and this is one of my most disliked things ever. Like, I don't know, is there anyone who likes to iron? But yeah, that's not the main thing. The main thing is that she started to add to my chores more and more things to do. And obviously I was very unhappy because, let me tell you, she was paying 60 quid a week, which in today's money is absolutely nothing. And that's why it was so outrageous, like, to get this amount of money for doing so much stuff. And I was getting depressed, I was getting unhappy. I was literally crying every day in front of the Skype while talking with my mom. That's not even a joke. Like, it was so much struggle, the fact that I'm in a foreign family, I don't know them, my English sucked at that time, like I had no family, no friends, anyone, and like the homesickness was absolutely insane. I cannot even describe you in words how difficult it was for me at that time. But yeah, I started to be unhappy and unpleased by all that situation. So the lady kind of started to notice all that, and she was like, if you don't like to do this or that, then leave it, I will do it. And I felt like it started to build a little bit of pressure, a little bit of you know, like she started to not like me, and I could see her by her face, by her actions and all that. And I got to a point that I don't want to be here anymore because this is way too much for me. So 1 week passed and the so-called wonderful lady didn't want to pay me. I was getting suspicious, like, why is happening? Literally, why it happened. I asked her about money, I confronted her, and she was like, no, this is not the type of services I expected. I'm not happy with what you're doing. I don't want you to be in this house anymore. If you're behaving like this, if you're like, you know, trying to kind of attack me with the fact that I was like felt miserable at that time. So we almost got into a fight, and this fight was basically the last day where I was there, and it was like 5 a.m. and I knew that she was leaving for work like very early, and she was very cheeky. She didn't want to pay me and didn't want to awake me at that time. So I heard her when she was coming downstairs, and I opened the door and was like, you're leaving the work but you're not paying me anything, and that's not okay. And she gave me like, I think 7 quid or so, and she was like, that's what you deserve for all this work you did, because this is not what I expected, this is not a service, this is like, she was trying basically to blame me for all that. So I was absolutely in shock. Instead of paying me what I deserved, she was like, you have to pack your bags right now and just get out of this house in this specific moment. And I started to panic because, come on, who is doing such crazy thing knowing that I was there all by myself without anyone to literally throw me on the street at 5 a.m. This was just, this made me feel absolutely speechless. One thing I didn't say, since I started to feel unhappy and unpleased, feeling very miserable because of this situation, I started to look for other families, like to change to another family, because that was my last moment. Like, very quickly I had to find someone else. I had to look for a new family because I didn't really want to give up. I didn't want to go back home, even though I could easily go back home because I had some money. I could easily go to the airport, buy a ticket, and that's it. Buy England, buy London. After a couple of days, like, getting into this weird situation, I started to look for another family, got into many Facebook groups, and I started to communicate with an old lady, and she hadn't had any children. She had just 2 dogs. So yeah, I told her all my situation without any hesitation, and she was like, yeah, sure, I'm looking for someone else to replace this girl who soon is gonna leave, and this would be really nice if you would come and stuff like that. So that was like a very last moment thing. So it was August, I don't remember exactly which day, but I was outside 5 a.m. with 2 huge bags thinking, where am I going and what I'm gonna do. Lucky, like, thank God, I had an acquaintance who came to England exactly the same way as me. She had her own horror story completely different, but that's another story. So I called her and asked what she can do for me, how she can help me, and she was working in a night shift, if I remember well. So after night shift, she came straight away to the East Barnet. We had a coffee. I told her everything. And she was like, you should go back to her, you should ask for money, you should involve the police. And I was like, I don't want any trouble, especially me being so young and so naive and not knowing any laws here and just being like a complete foreigner in a strange country. Yeah, I just didn't want any trouble. So basically she helped me to go to this old lady. This lady lived in Hersham, which is outside of London. We went to her and started to talk and stuff like that. My acquaintance kind of noticed some bruises on her knees. She told me about that. She told me like she might drink if she has those bruises because of falling and stuff like that. And I was like, God, I literally fell out of devil's house and now I'm in his son's house. She kind of gave me a day or two like to relax, to rest, because I told her all my crazy story with the previous lady. And then here we go again. One day we had dinner in the garden and she had a very lovely garden. And everything was nice until to the point that she showed me that she has some lovely pots with weed. And she's like, oh my god, I love this plant so much. They're so sweet and I'm gonna very soon use them. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, she is smoking weed. And she was, I think, 50 something or 60 something. I don't remember exactly. So I was like, God damn it. After a couple of days, everything started to get bad because it was the same story. She was paying more. She was paying 100 quid per week, if I remember well. But she had like crazy requirements. Like she wanted me to do cleaning, like from zero, scrubbing the carpets, dusting everything. And her house was like so worn out because she was a complete hoarder. Like she had so much crap in her house, you've no idea. She started to kind of get on me that I'm not doing the things how I'm supposed to do and all of that. I discovered one day that she was very drunk. She basically destroyed the kitchen in one evening because I was sleeping. It was I think 1 or 2 a.m. and I heard so much noise in the kitchen, and then she came in her room because her room was opposite mine. And she was watching TV like very loud every evening, so I couldn't have like a proper rest. So I had to wake up very early. And yeah, one evening it was like another surprise. Like I went to the kitchen downstairs and everything was an absolute mess. She was trying to get out some ice cream, some stuff, I don't remember exactly. And yeah, everything was dirty, everything was destroyed, like lots of glass, lots of stuff. She was trying to do something and she couldn't because she was drunk at that time. And yeah, she loved to drink, she loved to smoke weed in her house, she loved to keep her dogs inside the house until to the point that they pooped on the carpets. And guess who had to clean all of that? It was the same situation, but like I think twice worse. It's almost like 5 years since all this happened, and maybe I forgot some details. At least this lady was nice enough to pay me. Basically, I stayed in each of the house for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks in East Barnet and then 2 weeks in Hersham. But yeah, after I saw that there is weed, alcohol involved in the house, I was like, no, this is awful. I need to get out of this house as soon as possible because this is not okay generally for my health and safety. Not to say about my well-being and my psychological and my state of mind and just generally everything. Because, to be honest, at that point, I didn't even know how weed smells like. And I was like, how on earth did I end up here? Yeah, I started urgently to find another family. This time it wasn't on Facebook. This time I started again to find a new family on that same website. This time it was for real a nice family. I moved in Northwood, which is West London. Family was an Indian one. It was a very nice family. I think I stayed with them for like 3 months. They paid me like weekly. I saved some money. As well, they took me to holidays. I went with them first time to Broadstairs. And then once I went with them to Diwali, which is like an Indian celebration of lights. They were really nice and I got to have some of the best Indian food ever because they had a lady who came there and cooked like every Wednesday. So I had like a proper Indian takeaway. This was finally my nice open pair experience. Yeah, it was really nice with them. They treated me like a member of their family. I felt really good with them. After I saved enough money to go and rent a place for my own, I think it was time to start to think about the proper job, the job that I wanted to do since I came here. I'm happy that at least I got a nice au pair experience in the end. I'm happy that I met nice people. I'm not so happy about first month in England, but then again, if you don't have a little bit of rain, you don't see the rainbow, right? So that's it. This is how I came to England. This is my horror story time. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you made it till the end. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to smash a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!